Click Connect, special Friday night audit. Stay tuned. Craig Sullivan, you have got the most amazing shirt I've ever seen in my life. What is that all about?
Hey, that's promoting our other show, 3 Minute Thursday.
Holy shit, dude. What have we done? The mistakes that we're making right now, unbelievable.
You're going to haunt us for years. Are you kidding?
So it strikes me we look awfully young in that those pictures. Have we been doing this show for a lot of years, or has time just been very cruel?
It feels like it on both aspects, but you know we've got to talk to producer Tom and get a new countdown, and I've got to change it from years to decades. Okay. How are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I'll tell you what, I'm usually confused about one thing, but I smell a holiday weekend. So that tells me something special is going on. What time is it?
It is time for an audit summer.
Oh, summer what?
Time edition.
Yeah. Everybody, welcome to the one, the only Friday night audit, the only Friday show in hospitality that'll make you wish it was Monday already. That's Craig Sullivan. I'm Glenn Hausman. Buddy, how are you? I always forget you got to go the opposite way. Program here, you know? It's like the ambulance and all of that when it's backwards, but it looks good if it's behind you, but it confuses you if it's in front of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Right until those lights go on. Yeah, that's fine.
How are you, man? I'm feeling pretty good. It's, spring's in the air, stuff's happening. So it's exciting.
Late spring, summer. It's summer. Yeah. The days are longer. People are generally wearing less clothes. Some of you need to put more on, like me. It's all good. It's summer, longer days. You know, Glenn, you and I are now going to go from a 24-hour a day work week to 25 hours a day. So it's all good. There's Nikki Fox.
Is that weird? I don't know. I would love to get an extra hour and hopefully to sleep. The last thing I need.
Not going to happen. Not you. No.
All right. I do want to spend some time talking about a happy island that's actually freaking nice weather out here, but I don't want to do it at the expense of our guest. So, Craig, who is our guest today?
He's one of our first viewers, part of our audience from the beginning. He works in the hospitality industry. Some of you know him as Mr. Cards. Some of you know him as Lord Daniel. Daniel, welcome to Friday Night Audit.
Oh, you got a standing ovation here. Whoa, the crowd is crazy for you tonight. That is awesome. All right, everybody.
Put honor, guys. I have been a big fan since day one, and you guys are like probably the funniest guys I've seen in a long time.
Which explains why you're in a basement that I suspect is a locked door on the other end.
I think, what makes this show so special is having people like Dave on here and all the other guests. It's you get to learn. You're always learning more every single month and sometimes every year now, because it seems like, like COVID's been coming on, and it's just like, wow, has it already been that long?
That's crazy.
So I just felt like that I have a connection with what it's the hospitality industry, because it's been in my blood for like 30 years. So I have a long history. I'm very proud and I'm very passionate about the business. And Anthony Malcuria, of course, he's just another person that he was just another. He got it. He understands the business. And I said, oh, well, I got to check this guy out. And then that's how I ran into Glenn. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
Glenn, like he just opens your eyes when he talks. So thank you, Glenn, for everything you do. You've
Thanks, man.
put the hospitality industry back on the map again.
I'll tell you one thing you won't thank me for. This.
Oh,
There he is,
no.
producer David.
So I hear Glenn being praised. So let's get the lying portion of the show.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. Look at these freaking beers over here, and I can't even have anything to drink. The Cards, what are we drinking tonight on your end, sir?
Well, I know time is precious, and every second and every minute counts during this show. So let's get the move on.
Yeah.
So, wonderful place that sets up a moonshine stand at the Comic Con.
Yeah.
They every year come up with a different flavor. I fall in love with everything new. So one of their newer ones that just came out with was just pink lemonade. If you got
Wow.
now, of course, I drank some already, but you're like, wow, cool stuff. It's just like unicorn in the jar, right?
Sadly enough, that looks like my last urine sample. I probably what the doctor just keeps calling.
Too much information, Glenn.
Of course, it's, and this is another one of their
cool
cinnamon candies. This one, and then of course we have one of my favorite ones. It's called Java Bean right here.
Awesome.
So there's probably at least 9 different flavors, but today I'm gonna let you decide which one you think I should take a nice little drink out of today.
Before you do that,
but
Glenn,
you guys,
Dave's jumping in here.
Glenn,
Yeah.
as a producer of the show today, because as you can see, I run the show, but not today.
Right.
When something is too small to see, and instead of going and moving your face closer to the screen and squinting, you can put it in one shot. It's an amazing tool.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know what? Bring up that.
Wait, this is a horrible idea.
That's a horrible idea. But bring up that other one from the other week, Glenn, and put that in a one shot so that everybody can see Dancing Dad Dave. Except that wasn't the one I was talking about.
That doesn't even look like me.
That's too bad.
well, but you know what though? It was just, I don't know, just something about Dave has this superstar face. Like you could put his face on anybody and make him a superstar. So
yeah.
A what?
That's the sign of a talented producer.
Yep.
A supercar?
A superstar. So we could put
Star.
his face on anything and make it into superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah, come on, Dave, get with it, right? Let's go.
He's
But
being
anyway,
humble.
Today I'm just going to go ahead and have some of this pink lemonade.
All right, hold on. I got. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Dave. There we go. Love it. And I'm gonna stick with the beer. So hey, happy kick off to summer, everybody.
Happy summer, everybody.
Holiday weekend. Cheers, unofficial summer weekend.
Look at that bug.
Although my
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, look at wow.
Let's do a one shot on that, Glenn.
How many times people have said you have chosen wisely.
Yeah. Well, since I have so much royalty in my blood and everything else,
yeah. How did you get your lordship?
Well, you know,
I bought mine. You know that.
It's all the titles basically passed down, right? When your family's born into royalty, my mom, she has an island in Europe that was her great was a queen pretty much in that area.
Wow.
And I spent a lot of time and money, and the wife did too. We really wanted to study our ancestry, and we paid to have that done. And we found out, we opened up a bunch of books, and we found out that not only that I have royalty in my blood, but it runs down my. One of the cool things, though, in life is that we don't put a title on anything. It was more or less just saying, like, I have appreciation for my bloodline.
Yeah.
I have an attraction to dragons, and I love history. And I was invited to Pawn Stars to be on the show for some of the items that I market in my business.
That's awesome.
I have a passion for paper, old paper, old books, playing cards, tarot cards, comic books. It's just, I really have a connection with something that had a purpose,
Yep.
Or here's a good example. I mean, I'll just throw something at you real quick. So, for instance, like there's this card right here I have.
Right.
It was made right around 1770.
Are you kidding me? That's like 250 years old.
Do that in a one shot, Glenn.
Yeah. Thank you. Where? I wish we. Look at that.
That is beautiful. It's
So,
all hand painted.
Yeah. Well, so if you flip it around, the reason why I was talking about, if you see those little quill writing on the back of that,
Yeah.
the quill writing. So what they did, that was called secondary use. So because paper was just so rare and expensive back in the 18th century, and that they had to repurpose their cards. So what they did was they would put down like my bank information on them, or talking about balancing the checkbook, talking about their daily, monthly routines. So everything has a story behind it. So when I found out like that playing cards had a story behind it, I had to go with it. I wanted to learn more, and then the History Channel, wonderful special. Friends with them on the show. They just did a superb job. I'd highly recommend watching that show. It's Secrets of the Playing Card. But anyway, moving on, is like I have this passion for cards, but I also have this hospitality. So my life is kind of split. Like when I'm working in the hospitality industry, I'm giving everything. I'm giving the the 5-star as much as I can. But it's hard to do that all the time in today's world. But also having this other opportunity of collecting history and actually selling history. So, but that's what's amazing. Now, the other thing is I was lucky enough to have a wonderful wife that we got married in 1997, and we are like our chemistry is just amazing. We just love everything that we do. And, it's an honor to be part of her life. And with her being so successful, she's the who's who in this world. Real estate. She has her own jewelry. She's doing wonderful things as a singer-songwriter. She just came out with a release of a song. We just finally got put out on Pandora and everywhere else.
That's
too.
cool.
It's like a really good rock song.
Nice.
Some autistic kids singing on it too, which was really special to us.
Nice.
She just really, really is a focused individual, and she's very successful, and I'm very proud that she's in my life. But one of the things, though, that I always look for is having the ability to make someone happy. I just always want to help people. And when I see a person struggling, I'm always there. I'm opening up the door. I'm trying. Right. So I think that's where that hospitality rubs off on me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then meeting people like you, and then of course meeting people around the world is just even more of a pleasure. It really is. I love every person that's been on your show. Everybody's been very professional. It's a really.
Well, there's one notable exception.
Yeah. Now if Glenn and I are talking about the same person, there's two. And that one person I'm thinking about created the most god awful drink ever. Now, he sort of redeemed himself on a following appearance, but he's never going to live that shit down. Never.
Right. Oh, and another thing while I was still on the phone.
Ryan Huntsman.
Yeah.
There was one other thing that was just like this really unusual part of my life happened. Where my wife gets this phone call And she's like, "Who is this person?" And for the most craziest thing ever happened. Prince, of all people, contacts my wife. Okay.
What? Mhm.
Wow.
And we're in Reno. Okay. And we're, in the casino, and he sees me walking around, and he kind of makes.
Who hasn't heard this story before?
But the thing was, he got in touch with him, and he explained a very delicate thing that happened to her in her past, has a connection to his family somehow,
Right.
and it was like a third cousin type thing. So
Wow.
and so he would invite her over like once a year. She'd go to Minneapolis to Paisley Parks, and then she would help song with them or work on a song together. And then, of course, the tragic thing that happened with him. She had this hole in her heart for a very long time, and now she's finally listening to some of his songs again, which is great.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's just another interesting thing that happened in my life. Is like you just, and then of course she was powerful enough. She actually during COVID, believe it or not, my wife actually wrote to the Queen of England,
Right.
and she was saying like, "I am so honored that you prepare, you're handling the COVID situation perfectly." So she wrote a letter back to her saying, "Thank you for caring about us," and it was just like a really special moment in her life too. So
Nice.
actually got a letter from the Queen of England.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
I got a letter from Nixon congratulating me on my birth. So yeah, my parents sent the note to the White House. Oh, we're a baby. And then
See, I thought you were going to say a subpoena, Glenn.
but so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is your oldest or most rarest thing in your house?
At this point, yeah, you beat me to it.
No, I have a desk that's been handed down, family member to family member, that dates back to the 1700s. And Glenn's seen it in my studio. It's on the far wall. It actually was kind of an upright piano at the time that all the family members stopped playing, and one of them with some workers on their farm or ranch or whatever the hell it was, converted it into a desk, and it weighs 1,000 pounds, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I definitely want to see a picture of that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
But Glenn, he's got the Superman first edition.
I wish.
His first edition is David. Glenn is David's daddy.
Hey, Dave, wake up, buddy.
No. He's sleeping on the train.
David needs to perfect he's pretending to listen face.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
that sounds good.
So, Craig, let me ask you something. So, have you had any earthquakes lately?
No. I live on an island. The mainland may have had one. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That's true. Because for some reason, I just had this feeling that you have a story to share with us.
No. I mean, I share everything anyhow. Sometimes too much. No earthquakes. Not that I'm aware of. We did have a freeway closure because somebody was screwing around with weapons or a bomb or something over on the 91 freeway today, but I don't even know what the whole story is.
Yeah, I was talking to Glenn a little while ago about Ancient Aliens conference I went to the other day. And I thought
what happened was you started to tell me about it. And I'm like, don't tell me about it now.
Yeah. Wait.
I gotta hear about this later. So yeah.
Definitely tell you though, like I'm one of those kind of people where sometimes I'm very like I gotta know evidence for sure to believe in something what somebody's saying, right? I felt like that whenever I sat there and listened to four guys talking about like structures that were actually built on this earth that actually technology today can even reproduce it, it just kind of messes with your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
But put it in a perspective though that I really didn't think about at the time. And he said that almost all the guys were basically saying this. They're saying the reason why that they have pyramids and the reason why they have all these gigantic 200-ton boulders stacked on top of each other 2 stories high, you figure how can they do that, is that they were doing that to commemorate a very special time that needed to be recorded. You understand? So what would make somebody really spend all that quality time of their life and dedication for that one special meaning, for that one purpose? What would push somebody to try to send a, to commemorate that? Really,
I'd say slavery.
well, you know what? They that's one of the things that's out of my pay grade. Like I can't,
A lot of people were forced to work, quote unquote, on the pyramids and various other things, and I don't think it was by their own choice.
Well, I know there's a couple. There's definitely some brilliant minds out there that they beg to differ because they showed no signs of it because of the people who actually were being paid to do the job to build the pyramids, not actually being forced to build
Good.
But the thing is like I have a fascination of the crystal skulls. I have fascinations of all these interesting things that are out there, and it just really opens your mind up a little bit.
Dude, Mr. Cards. That reminds me.
Yeah.
I loved that stuff when I was a kid. The TV show In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. That thing blew my brain when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
That was scary because it was like what?
But
I mean, science.
So for people who don't know, and Dave wouldn't know, so unfortunately he's having.
He knew who Radar was.
Yeah, that is true. But they were like, it was a show where they would explore mysteries like Bigfoot or aliens and that sort of thing. Oh, no way! Hold on, let me put this up on the single shot.
Oh, come on now.
That's pretty cool.
Well, what's funny is his daughter and my son are about the same age. Okay. And they were both studying karate at the same dojo in Burbank. And
he was a Marine. Yeah.
And Sam's a great guy, really a nice guy.
But had a nice conversation with him too. He actually, when we met him, he spent like an hour with us and we were talking. I could tell you a great story about that.
Yeah.
He was actually trying to put a driveway wall or something in the back of his house, and he was asking my wife's opinion because she understands structural engineering too.
Right, you are, Matthew.
But it was like the conversation he had was just like part of the family. He is a great guy.
He truly is. He's one of the nice people. And it's funny because they matched up his daughter and my son in their first match. And my son was always told, you never strike a girl. Never. And he looks at me, and they're getting ready to tee them up against one another, and I looked at him, kind of go, like that, and she clocked him and took it.
You never hold back.
Yeah. But Sam's one of those people that very nice, very down to earth, and should have had a much better career.
I know.
I mean,
it was even a shocker when I found out that his voice was dubbed in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that was like that. He's like, it was a contractual.
Not the only one. Mel Gibson in the first Mad Max.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course Schwarzenegger in that Hercules of New York movie.
That's right.
Yeah. Like you just don't know these things till later in life.
And also early appearances of Dave on this very podcast. We had to we got Marcel Marceau to mime it for us instead of the voice.
Well, let's do a little bit more show, shall we? Because I know time is precious. So how about something like this? This is kind of something interesting right here. This is a tarot card that was made in 1810.
Wow.
Stencil painted, but all if you're familiar with tarot cards or not, but they're a very lucrative business right now. So they're
really
people are very fascinated about the mysteries behind it and how it started, and people want to own a little piece of that history. Now, a tarot deck, a nice rare tarot, so anywhere between 800 to 2,000, and some of the really rare decks can go from 2,000 to 10,000.
Wow!
So it really is about the person who really wants to pay for that deck. So what it is they're usually sometimes they're painted by specific printers, and they want to have it from that or from that era
Right.
that they're collecting. But there's like my life is about history, and I just really love what history has done. I sometimes you always say to yourself like, how can we go on so many
Right.
centuries going, and then you hold a card in your hand and it's 200-300 years old. It's like, whose hands were these in before?
Right. Right.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I love that. I love all that stuff too. And though I'm not really much of a collector of anything that I used to when I was young in high school and college. But when I moved into a studio apartment in New York City, the collecting ceased. So
Wonder why.
I find all that stuff interesting. Like I love that American Pickers show because it's all about talking about the items and the history behind it, which is the same like Pawn Stars and that stuff's really, really fun and endlessly interesting to me.
Oh, it is. It's all then the power of being able to talk to so many people using like a History Channel, the Discovery Channel. It's like you're reaching out to so many more people. People really don't understand like the history behind certain things, and that's why these shows like oh wow, I had no idea that the bicycle evolved that way.
Right.
Yeah.
It is fascinating. But with Glenn traveling all the time and Craig's always making sure everybody's doing their job, me, I'm just kind of one of those people in the middle. Like I'm not an owner of a hotel, but I work for him, and we have good chemistry. And as long as you do what you're supposed to do in life and you're successful at it and people appreciate your hard work, that's where it pays off.
Totally.
I would love to work, and retire, but sometimes you have to just know when it's a good fit, and in this limited service hotel has just been a good fit for me. If I wanted to work in full service, I'd probably be working for Four Seasons or something, because that's who I always wanted to work for.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's all these new hotels like that Glenn gets to go to. Oh my goodness gracious, it's just breathtaking. Some of the hotels he's been at, it's just really
it's really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know. I'll be with my good friends at Palazzo Venetian again this week. I'm looking forward to being over there, so that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be there Monday to Friday this week.
Let's Daniel, you're in Pittsburgh. One of our very good friends of the show, Matt Hostetler, is like the #1 Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's there.
Oh yeah.
So are you doing the black and gold, and what do you think of your quarterback situation there?
Well,
and don't expect me to be able to say anything. I'm just gonna nod and like pretend
he's gonna nod and smile and go, really?
Great point.
I could definitely tell you this: like Pittsburgh is a really tough town. Okay,
but it's a great sports town.
Oh yeah, I mean we believe. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to sports, you have to either know it or you don't know it. And growing up watching the Penguins win this Stanley Cup, I've actually watched the Pirates do very well at one time, and then the Steelers have always just been one of those teams that were just like, hey, we're going to go take it to the end. And if we get to the, most likely they're going to pull it off.
Yeah.
But money is everything. I can honestly say that the more money that you have, I think the better the players seem to play,
As Tampa Bay a couple of years ago.
So if let's just say that I have high hopes every year.
Yeah.
If your job is to,
I'm a Jets fan. I don't have any hope.
And you better know what you're doing. If you're a coach, then you're probably going to be the first one to go if you don't win.
Yep.
Right.
But like Tomlin, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Mark, he's got good rapport. I think he's respected by the Rooneys for sure.
Yeah.
But the problem is that this Pittsburgh fan base will if you don't play well, you're going to know about it.
You know what? Consistency.
There you go. Matt Hostetler just said it all.
Steelers. Yeah. No, I'm stealing that from him right now. Yeah. Consistency is the key for the Steelers. It really keeps them coming back, time to time.
Well,
way to go, yeah.
With New York, though, like my wife took me to, we went on a not honeymoon trip, anniversary trip.
Yeah.
Went to New York City, and I absolutely have to just do the ferry thing with that. I just like had to see the Statue of Liberty up close, and I just really like, well, let's go to helicopter first. So she went on a helicopter ride, and it was just amazing, And my eyes were like, I cannot believe how man has created all of this. It was just
yeah, I knew. I was with somebody a couple of weeks ago who, after I left them, was headed straight to Dubai. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to see cool construction projects.
See, but the thing that keeps Glenn humble is he doesn't feel like he's made it yet. Okay, he's got the private jet, he's got the beach house being built, but it's the helicopter that gets him to and fro. That's when he's finally going to say that he made it.
Well, here's the thing. Friday Night Audit is a show that not only do you guys are sharing the world of what's going on, because everybody needs to know what's going on. You're like, oh my gosh, it's just like, I just love you guys because you guys really bring us back down to earth. I like that,
Thanks. I'm just trying to dig my way. The great week ahead for ourselves.
But I think what I'm trying to say is that I'm very honored, humbled, and I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to be on episode 138.
Yeah, baby.
Nice. Very good. Very good. I'm impressed.
Crowd loves you.
Do though is when we do get back together on this show, I'm gonna get my computer working very
no worries.
Working great. So I appreciate you let me at least get that working. So
yeah.
But Glenn, going on in the future of Glenn's travels ahead? Where are we going to this week or next week?
All right. So first of all, I just want to say I'm really honored that I've been pre-selected for an offer. Yeah. So I've been pre-selected for an offer. So I guess I got my name on a mailing list or something like that.
Well, you are on pre-selected for the full body cavity search every time you go into an airport.
I know. Well, I put the check mark down on the form, and then it happens.
They asked, "Are you drunk?" And he checked somewhere in between.
Hey, Craig, do you think I should give Glenn the new title Hotel now? Because I think he's Mr. Hotel now, don't you think?
No, he's the voice of hospitality. I'm Mr. Hospitality, and David is David.
Okay, and David is David. I almost got that.
No, he's producer David, actually.
He runs the show, but not
the
He's gone right now.
Yeah. That is the voice of hospitality. And you know what? That's something that I think a lot of people ought to really appreciate, because especially during the early onset of COVID, Glenn and Anthony made a decision to go live every day and cut through the noise and all the bullshit. And it pulled a lot of us together, and it pulled, I think, the industry together as well, where a debt of gratitude is owed to David. Was early on the producer there. Glenn certainly, pulled the whole thing together, and with Anthony, it added another dimension. I'm not going to say it was the fifth dimension or the sixth, but it was another dimension. And Glenn, I can't be too loving towards you guys.
Okay? Yeah, the best. Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
You are. You guys pulled us all together, and basically the success that I've got with my show is because of Glenn.
Well, that's not long in the past. Now we have to suffer through this every week.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, what do we got here?
In history, right? India, they have a different type of process of making cards.
Really?
Processes they had was they always make sure that their boxes were all hand carved, and then they're all painted. Okay, this is more of a vintage one. This is more like a little bit antique-ish. And so what happened was they have I think there's like at least 15 different types of card games that they make in India.
Right.
What India started recently doing was they realized that the English suits, or the French suits, I should say, because they're the clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds in France.
Right.
So what India started doing was, well, if that's where the money's at now, so they started making cards with these indices. But here's a good example of like what they're doing. Now, this is X-rated, but it's all, each one of these is actually individually hand painted. Okay.
Wow.
And
Kama Sutra cards.
yeah. Kama Sutra cards, exactly.
Wow.
And the thing was they're all lacquered. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do
Wow.
Let me go back to that. Wow.
I don't know if this is like super X-rated for you, but
No,
are they a paper or are they a thin wood product?
they actually made them different methods. There was some of them were made out of clay.
Wow.
And actually, some of them was actually like a cloth that has a lacquer resin with it.
Okay.
So they make them stiff and so they can play with a lot. Playing cards, trust me, have a pretty long history. And when I got involved with a club. They're the club of they call the 52 plus Joker Club. It's been around for some time and it's kind of grown, and the whole industry is just gigantic now. Everybody's making their own deck of cards now. Everybody's getting involved with the playing card market.
Yeah.
A playing card company got bought out by a Belgian company, Cartomundi. They're the ones that make like all those Pokemon cards or Magic cards. They like make $1 gazillion. So they like, okay, we're going to buy out the next best competition out there. And they decided to take over. They took them over. But now what they're doing is they're still making the bicycle decks. They're still known for making all these wonderful. But what's the artisan decks is where the money's at now.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I became aware of a company, and I wish I could remember the name. But they make specialty playing card decks. And they did it for Star Wars. They did it, for Peter McKinnon out of Canada with his Pete's Pirate Life and various others. And I've got a couple of those decks here that just struck me as being something.
Let's do that for our
whether
next.
It's ever going to be worth anything, I don't know. But they were just cool, and I said, okay, let me order those. Oh, look at that golden nugget! Wow.
So what's nice about these golden nugget decks is when they have the tax stamp on them, that tells you what year they're made. So these are considered first edition decks when golden nugget.
Wow. Do those have holes punched in them? Really?
When they're sealed, this deck sealed goes for about $2,000.
Wow.
But if it was purple, you can get like $5,000 or more.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the canceled decks don't hold such a great value as more the ones that were just picked up out of.
Yeah, I remember back in like the 90s when I first started legally being able to go to casinos and stuff like that. They would sell in the gift shops the dice with holes drilled in them, and then the cards with the punches in them, and they were all from being used at the tables and stuff. That was fun. I used to have those all the time.
Well, obviously there's so many playing cards in this right now that's being produced that I strongly believe the market's going to get saturated over time. They like how the 90s sports card industry went down.
Right.
Playing cards, because before people were spending like $200 for one deck that was just made on a computer yesterday.
Right. Yeah, totally. There's a whole pin trading industry that was huge for a while and then kind of collapsed on itself because of that.
But the thing is, collectible, and people think it's so they believe that if I have that one of that 4 set or 5 of those decks of that one set, then that's where people start making more money.
Yeah.
But I never got into it. I just stuck with anything that's 100 years old or older. So like if you go like behind me there, you see every single one of those trays has got some kind of relic or some type of antique, vintage, or old, very rare playing card or tarot card in one of those drawers. So that's the thing, is trying to keep an inventory has been fun, but my main concern though is to try to make sure that people understand the history behind it, And so my goal right now is to wake people up to making money if they have playing cards. So feel free to reach out to me if you have a deck that looks old.
Yeah, Daniel, we have not got to the shameless plug part of the show
Yeah,
yet.
Oh,
yeah, we're not there yet. Wait,
I'm not.
I'm kidding.
I'm going to say right now that I'm here to help, and I'm hoping that you guys are always going to look up to me if you ever need help.
Yeah,
Do you have?
you've been doing a lot of oh, sorry, Craig, you go.
I was going to say, do you have enough antiquities, I guess is the phrase I'm looking, or word I'm looking for, to open up a museum and to educate people?
Good question. So, actually, one of my good friends, he's like a World Series of poker champion. He's got a bunch of Bitcoin. His goal is to try.
And I got Bitcoin, but it all evaporated.
By the way, let's take a moment of silence for Dogecoin model dog who passed.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm heartbroken. I can't do the
huge
show, Glenn.
Dogecoin model
Goodbye.
dog. Yeah, I haven't been this upset since I heard about Spuds McKenzie.
But the long story short here, just a good friend of mine, he's just a really class action guy, but he wants to break the world's record for having the most playing cards that were 100 years or older, complete decks.
Wow.
So his goal is trying to find all those rare decks. So he's going on all the auction sites and just buying everything out. He's going on Potter and whatever he can do to get his hands on them. But we have a lot of deals US though that actually have really significant collections. The thing is that my goal in life is to find a deck that a person has a connection to, like World War II decks, for us. And I might have somebody say, like, my dad was in,
right.
Well, they have these special submarine decks that they made, that the government made, that they didn't like mass produce them. So when you get your hands on one, they're $100.
Right.
Now, so what about? I was going to say, what about Theory 11? Because they're the ones that did the Peter McKinnon cards and a few others. I mean,
that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. It was driving me crazy. I couldn't remember the name of the company that made those cards, but they've got a complete line, for Star Wars, for Indiana Jones, Peter McKinnon and various others. If you guys don't know who Peter McKinnon is, look him up.
Oh yeah, we got to do a Friday night audit edition. Maybe they'll, now they keep emailing us, but
but there's only 2 jokers and there's 3 of us, Glenn. Thank you very much. And you can find me at the Houseman Smokehouse, Swim Club, Resort, Sailing Club, Dispensary, Brewery.
Now with with freshly cleaned cushions. So we're very excited to debut that this year. Yeah. Sorry,
Did
Daniel.
you do that?
No.
Hey, Glenn. You have the ability to be able to go online and go to a website right now and put it up?
What website am I going to?
That's producer David's job. So we may have a union problem if Glenn does it.
You go to House of Cards in Tennessee. I have some of my collection that's inside his.
Oh, really? Nice.
Lounge restaurant.
Nice.
There's this couple in Tennessee. Shannon and Bill Miller. They are just amazing people. They are just growing Tennessee so fast. This is where my playing cards are. Actually, he acquired a nice collection from me, and he was able to put those in frames and locate them all around this room on these columns. All these columns, you'll see he has this gorgeous frames. This is the place to go. If you look, you can see some of my cards right there on the wall there. That you can not only go to a venue where you actually have a magician doing magician tricks for you, but you have one of the spectacular meals you'll ever have.
Really?
So
that looks so beautiful.
Guys to make the trip to go down to see these guys. He owns the Johnny Cash Museum, the Patsy Cline Museum, the Frank Sinatra. He's just exploding down there, and I love the guy to death. He's an amazing.
Nice. Now we have the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and you can get an incredibly average meal there. but you can get some really good magic.
There is a crazy resurgence of magic that's happening right now, particularly close
Pull a
up
quarter out of his ear.
magic. Yeah, and like there's all these like crazy intimate shows like that are popping up that are really exclusive. There's like a super secret one in Vegas and other places as well. You're nodding, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, COVID completely devastated that. It really.
Yeah.
Those guys were so hurting because there was no bookings. There was just nothing going on. And the magicians just kind of united together during that time and hung in there. Now it's like it's back. It's on fire. Everybody, I love magic.
I don't think it's been this. I don't think magic's been this popular.
It had been this hot for a while,
90s or something like that.
Yeah. But what's fun is like when you see all these, like I watch America's Got Talent, right? Yeah. And then on stage and they'll do a card trick.
Let's pull that out of Glenn's ear.
Oh. But what's crazy is
usually he likes to pull things out of another.
How those tricks work. So my wife goes, "Don't tell me. I don't want to know."
Yeah, I don't want to know either. No
freaking way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which is I love that Penn and Teller show where
figure it out.
Yeah, Penn and Teller are a great duo for magic. I've been watching them for decades and decades and decades. And it's fun that they have people on trying to trick them and they try to figure out how that was done. Really cool idea for a show.
Yeah. Well, Piff the Magic Dragon's one of my favorite now. He really
I saw you had something on your Facebook page about him.
He's not only a magician, he's a comedian. Okay.
I know.
If you get a chance to watch some of his stuff, he was on America's Got Talent, actually.
Way before he was on America's Got Talent, I ran into him at something that the Cosmopolitan had in Las Vegas, and it was a cool restaurant and interactive experience like this House of Cards place, but way too before its time. Mm-hmm. And Piff was one of the people that were in that thing, plus they had a show that was connected with it. So he was like comic relief in the show and then did close-up magic and stuff like that in the restaurant and bar and stuff like that. Yeah. Nice. And then when that closed and I saw that, like, then he started doing stuff over there. Then he got like a show over at like Flamingo or something like that. It's so great to see him working all these years later,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, my last card show, we have a card show like annually once a year. It's wherever the guys want to put it. Niagara Falls is one year. The last show I had the David Blaine came in and he wanted, I guess he was looking to buy an antique deck because of course with all the modern decks, he makes his own deck and he actually has from the Expert Playing Card Company, I do believe he was doing the designs, I think, for David Blaine. So David Blaine came in town when we had our show. He's walking around and everybody's taking pictures and wanting his autograph and everything. I mean, he's just like a normal person like all of us, but he really has a passion for magic.
I would say I'm a normal person, but
So, but the thing is like, he's just like a regular person, but he is phenomenal at what he does, And I support anybody that has a passion for magic for sure, because sometimes it's not easy, But that's the one thing I love about cards: the magic part of it, the historical side of it, the collectability side of it. My life. Yeah, I love Marriott. It's in my blood, but this is my life too. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's just been very, very. It's a bit of a blessing, I guess you can say it like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But there used to be a show. I believe it was on NBC. And it starred Bill Bixby post Hulk, where it was called The Magician. And he lived in the back of his airplane like you do, Glenn. And he'd travel the country solving mysteries and always using magic to get everything done. It was only on for a year, but it was great. It was a great show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I told you this or not, Glenn, or not. I remember on the phone when we talked about it.
That's all right. I can't remember this morning. Although I did have a big I help out autistic kids. Okay, for many years, the local school
sending students up to my hotel so I can teach them how to do certain things, how to change a light bulb, how to paint a wall, and give them confidence in the workplace. And, and so I got such a strong bond with all of these kids now that, yeah, it's just like so rewarding to help out somebody. But what I like to do is I take some of that magic spin that I have with me, and then one day I might do.
Love it.
Really, they just love magic so much.
Yeah.
And but I really believe though that, like I said, the hospitality industry is just freaking back, baby. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We're doing well.
Back finally. I mean, I know they're still working at home. Don't get me wrong, but it's starting to come back more than I thought it was going to come back. It's actually a little bit more than this year, but it depends.
We have some headwinds, but you know what? Everybody's traveling. Glenn, your research and your guests, groups are coming back. We've got.
Yeah, I mean, the group business has been absolutely huge. The TSA put out a notice saying that they're expecting their busiest summer ever, and that
ever
for it. Memorial Day weekend, which we're celebrating the start of right now. AAA is predicting great numbers for this weekend, so it's looking pretty good. So it's exciting. You feeling like your properties are going to be sold out and busy?
Well, I got 2 weddings coming up tonight and tomorrow. So
nice.
But see, I get my weekends off now because I worked 16 years weekends. I ain't doing that anymore. I got my fair share of weekends in. So
well, like you're not going to different conferences and stuff every weekend, selling your stuff and working every weekend.
Like I said, I love what I do. I have marriage, I have family. You guys are great friends. I mean, this is the time of the life where I just want to keep learning and growing. I just want to keep teaching, and I want to help. That's my goal. And this, if I can stay healthy and I can keep focusing on the success stories that I want to promote in the future. Right. Then maybe in a year or 2 from now, I could be, in New York with you guys on a show someday. You never.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, that'd be a lot of fun.
And I'll make sure Dave comes too.
But can you make him disappear?
He knows when he wants anymore. So
the greatest magic trick of all time.
David disappeared.
So here, I know getting close to the end, and like I said, we could probably talk for hours about want to. Is there anything that you ever wanted to know as far as this before I dropped the subject of the ancient aliens? Because I heard a lot of stuff, but are you guys in the UFO kind of life?
I find it really fascinating. I don't know how likely or probable that is, but I also believe that it is very likely and probable that there's a lot more to this this story than we have a basic human understanding of at this time.
Now, I'm
not sure.
I think there's a beacon in orbit of the planet Earth. Warns all the alien race. People here who wage war, so don't land. If we're the only intelligent life in the universe, give it up. Okay.
Well, what's funny is
y'all end all to the universe. No,
it's funny. I was looking at
something with 8 fingers, grab Glenn by the head, pick him up, and walk him over someplace and sit him down.
I was watching some pictures of some. They were showing like drawings of what people thought the UFOs looked like. Back in the 30s and 40s or 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They actually had the tripod with the wheels on the bottom. Like you would think if you were extraterrestrial, you wouldn't need to have landing gear by then.
Yeah, right.
So
it's like put in hover mode.
I don't know.
Well, then you got like Steven Spielberg, and then how he, how that whole look of aliens has become affected by that, and how he perceives them.
Well, there's some classics out there that's makes us think about like, okay, is those headlights at a spaceship, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good movies out there that can really make you think twice about extraterrestrials. But
for sure.
Like I said, I wanted to find out during that show. Like I said, was it worth going to the show? Yeah, I think so, because like I said, it was it really opens your eyes up when you start thinking about like how small we are.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's just absolutely mind-boggling, and seeing now we're seeing black holes. Now we're seeing, we're seeing, there's like 80 million Earth-like planets out there now. Like what else are they gonna find next?
Oh yeah, a lot. And I find it so interesting that people are so closed-minded that they think that's the way it is. But we're always learning and expanding our knowledge base, and our perception of things completely changes. Look back to when some of those cards were made, how they thought like humanity's purpose was compared to how we see it now, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, well, the reason why we have playing cards is because we get bored really easy. So it was easy.
A truer statement has never been spoken on this show than that one, Glenn.
You know what, though? If you really was to go back in time, like those guys, the Crusaders, even they had playing cards in their what happened is they started gambling, and when the king found out about that,
there you go. He wasn't getting his cut. Hey, the house always has to have its cut.
So we got to make sure we get the tax card in there,
But that's it.
So I'm happy where I'm at in life. I can't ask for anything more right now. I am just always learning every day. I'm always like,
that's part of it. You should be learning every day. Always be learning.
Yeah,
always.
And then one thing
I learned
always be closing
every conversation we have with David. No, that's a lie.
I know. Yeah. It's tragic.
No, but you got to be learning. Got to be learning all the time. Hey, before we head out of here,
absolutely. Yeah.
Tell us about your rings. I'm thinking one of them's a dragon. Am I correct on that?
This is a really cool dragon I picked up at a gem show.
One shot, Glenn.
Yeah, sorry. I was yeah.
It's all sterling.
Nice.
It's kind of nice. And these other rings, I love wearing rings. It's just a fashion.
Yeah.
I like to wear rings every once in a while. Superman's my idol.
You got a Superman ring too.
Cool.
Superman. And of course, the new Superman movie is coming out soon. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking forward to that too.
I like jewelry a lot, and I go through phases where I'm wearing it and when I'm not. And the past 2 years, I've been in a phase where I'm not. But
the reason why I do wear jewelry is because it gives off energy, or like a positive. You gives off some energy. But my wife, she got into the GIA for a reason, because she believes that like some certain gems can give off energies too.
Energy, right?
But with her being a gemologist, and she has her certification, she's going to do her own jewelry show and everything, which is going to be awesome. So she loves the jewelry business and what the stones represent and how those stones are made and everything. So I'm proud of her for that. So I enjoy the fashion that jewelry has to offer, and the history behind how the stone was created. And then I just take one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, and hopefully when the 1 year comes around again, it's another better year. So
let me ask you a question. What's the correlation between a blacksmith and a jewelry smith?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you want to call it jewelry smith, because those usually are called goldsmiths usually.
Okay.
And my dad was actually
Glenn's going, why did he ask that question?
Yeah.
No, now I'm curious. Yes, but now I'm suddenly curious.
See?
But with him being a goldsmith, he actually made my wedding ring, by the way. He made that ring.
Right? That's cool.
Nice.
But
beautiful.
He was not only worked for TWA for so long at the St. Louis property, or the terminal in St. Louis, but he also did jewelry, and so I got to see how the jewelry business was run, and he just took it to the top. I mean, he was just one of the best jewelry smith, But here's the one thing you have to remember: jewelry is not cheap, but
no, not at all.
So. Especially like silver right now, it's going to go high. So silver before it goes up. So,
but even if you go back in the day, whether it's lords, ladies, knights, all of that, making a sword was a huge expense. Making chainmail, making a suit of armor, all of that. But I've got to think that the jewelry side is an offshoot of the blacksmith and the armorer and all of that. And but there's a lot of melding together of philosophies and the way things are done. Am I off base? Do I understand that fairly decently, or Glenn's giving me the evil eye? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, I'm just happy I found a little bit more beer.
Okay.
Like this, jewelry's been around since the Egyptians and even before that. You can go to, you can see they made some pretty amazing jewelry a long time ago too. So, but with the technology we have,
especially if you like bugs and snakes.
Oh well, they had a little bit of this. Anything that had to, they're gonna make the jewelry for gods, you know.
Yeah.
But I know we have to finish up, so all I could say is I'm glad to be on the show finally. I had a blast for like the years I've been watching you guys. So it's you guys not only have you made me laugh lots of times, but I love the final result of every show. You guys just find a way to put that on my face. So I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
We appreciate you, and you're welcome back anytime. Thank you.
You rock. But now we got to do this official moment. That's right, the Plug Palooza, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The moment Dave is not going to get to relish right now because he chose to be at his daughter's recital instead of being here with us. I want to be a good parent, you know, so whatever.
He should be a good parent. He's got twins coming.
The twins are as real as my jet and West Coast house, Mr. Cars.
Hey, I've got pictures of your West Coast house. It's real.
Hey, look, you got a guest right there. Perfect time for the plugging.
Hi.
Hey. Plug something, Daniel.
Oh yeah, for sure. I guess the wife wanted to say hi real quick. But anyways, I just want to say Marriott's been good to me. I'm always going to be there for them. They are in my blood forever.
Nice.
Our Hannah, which is a great company that my wife's been working for many years. The Slippery Rock Hotel School, which helps bring those wonderful autistic kids to my work on a weekly basis.
Oh, Suzanne, I love you.
As far as my wife's music career, if you ever want to check out one of her songs, it's the name of the song is Rise Baby Rise, Rise Little Baby Rise, and the name of her group band is Iroquois Sun. So you can definitely check that out on one of my profile pages if you want to check it out. And like I said, there's autistic kids singing on the end of it. It's just a good rock and roll song, a lot of guitar, a lot of strong vocals. She's just really good at what she does. As far as my business is called World Class Playing Cards. I unfortunately sell cards at premium prices because I have to use a third-party eBay portal, which is, of course, Feebay. But
yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to sell some of these comic books, and I haven't done it in a while because the fees are pissing me off. I'm like, by the time I get everything graded, shipped, and they take their fees out of it, I'm like, why am I wasting my time? Yeah.
Right now, but the thing is I don't look at it like that. I just say, listen, if somebody wants something, they're going to get it. You know?
Yeah, I look at it like that.
The history and whatever it meant, it had a connection to that piece, whether if it was an occult piece or a playing card piece or anything else, a game or whatever. But I could definitely tell you that No Vacancy Live is an amazing show. It really does a lot of good for the people that need to hear about what's going on in the world. But it also gets to meet people like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Great plugging. And thanks for the love. Aloha, Craig. Do you have anything that you want to announce?
We have a date for the 8th annual California Lodging Investment.
Oh, I thought when you said we have a date, I was excited for a second. And, thought we were finally.
Oh, you're married. You can't go out on dates. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Anyway, what's the date? What's the date?
Hey,
this is awesome.
March 5th and 6th. We're going to be making the hotel announcement, 2025, by the way. We will be making the announcement on the location. We are changing it up, and we're going to be at a new location. Could it be a resort? Could it be an urban Center Hotel?
Who knows?
Could it
I don't know. It's very
be something in
mysterious.
between? We'll let you know. We've got 10th season of Click Connect coming up soon.
Awesome.
Producer Danny and I will be back at it, interviewing industry leaders, talking about California hospitality. And we're going to step out of the state of California, do a little bit of stuff on the national and international level as well. So really excited about that. We got a lot of changes coming up for the show. And Arnie Garfinkel has got me moderating a panel at his online commercial real estate and lending conference coming up soon. Check out our posts on LinkedIn on that. And Arnie, you missed tarot cards, you missed playing cards, you missed aliens, and really a great show in Daniel being here.
I guess it just wasn't in the cards for him.
It wasn't in the cards for you.
Oh.
And
oh my God,
some hotel tours. So look for that. We're going to be out and about.
That's awesome! Wow, you really excelled at the plugging on this show. So I'll just say
I had something to plug.
I'm gonna be in Las Vegas this week at
With
the
Bruce Ford
conference. Yes, so great week up ahead. I'll be doing a bunch of shows with my friends over at Venetian with a number of their incredible executives over there. Additionally, I'll be broadcasting from the trade show floor with a bunch of the top executives from Sonesta, including their CEO, EVPs, director of marketing, all that kind of fun stuff. We're going to really get to know the brand, and I'm psyched to be hosting the awards show. That's going to be a whole lot of fun at Venetian.
Yeah.
Live band and all that kind of stuff. And we got myself a new suit for it, so I'm really excited for that. Then,
wow. Go grab the suit. Let's see it.
Then if you're going to be there, I'm not going to run again now. If you're all going to be there on May 30th, come see Bruce Ford and myself. We're going to be hanging out and going to Dead End Company at Sphere Las Vegas. I thought I was going to get out of there, but the Sphere keeps pulling me back in for more. And of course, join us at High Tech, where Anthony and I are blessed and honored to be keynote speakers. And I'll also be at the NYU Hospitality Investment Conference and a lot more. Thanks for being here, everybody. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time on the one and only Friday Night Audit. But not next week, because
no show next week.
No show next week. See you later. Bye.
Aloha. Don't talk over the credits, Glenn.